AD and LeBron have to have help.
Anthony Davis said he's the best defensive player in the league, so guess what, buddy?
To your point, you got to make it as tough as you possibly can and try to make him a little uncomfortable in doing things that he doesn't want to do.
What's up, y'all, and welcome to the No Juice Cafe. Hey, let's jump right into this one. So the crew at Gil's Arena was talking about Game 1 between the LA Lakers and the Denver Nuggets, and they was giving their opinion on what they believe will be successful at guarding the Joker that would lead to success against the Denver Nuggets. Hey, let's take a listen and hear what they had to say.
You got to pick your poison with him, but just try to make each possession tough, man. Contest passes, not letting him get free looks in the passing lane, things like that. Contest all his jump shots, stay down on the pump fake. I'm gonna pick. For one, I'm not letting him bring the ball up the floor if I'm the opposing coach. If he bring the ball up the floor, I'm gonna pressure him. Like if he's dribbling the ball up the floor, I'm gonna make him turn. I'm gonna make him. He gonna have to pass that bitch to get off of it.
Yeah, but don't just let him walk it up.
I'm not gonna let him bring the ball up the floor. Like, he gonna have to exert some energy, bring the ball up the floor if I'm the opposing coach. So you just got to learn to play the game within the game with a great player like that. Taking certain things away from him, making him catch the ball where you want him to catch it at times, so you know what defense that you can play in these spots. But it's doing your work early and watching film and really studying his tendencies and things like that. And they're not doing that because he's doing the same thing each and every time when he plays the same guys. So, but
that's what it's like. It's like he's studying day defense, like knowing that you can't do this because. Like, I'm surprised that they don't push him. Like, if I'm playing defense, if I'm scouting him, when he's on the right block, I'm a push him back baseline, right? Push him back baseline and double from the baseline side, which means he has to, because he's not going to be able to pass that way, right? Because now you have it blockade for his, so now he has to turn back around. Once he picks it up and turns back around, then you can get back out. Well, but they let him go middle every time.
But if you double, then. If Aaron Gordon on the floor, he's just gonna cut and it's gonna be a dunk, because he's gonna go to shoot them motherfucker, he gonna cut, he just gonna pass.
But what I'm saying is Aaron Gordon is always on the baseline. See, so when he goes middle and you try to help middle, that's where that lob comes from.
Either way you pass, he gonna find it, motherfucker, trust me.
Yeah, so when he goes baseline, he's cut off by the baseline too. He can't lob from the baseline.
But he's gonna be opposite, he gonna be opposite side in the goal every time.
Yeah, on the baseline side, but that's where you're coming from. You're coming from the baseline side. So once you make me spin,
they're gonna drop it to him. As soon as you go, he gonna drop it right behind you.
Yeah,
listen, that's what I would do.
But that's the pass he's going to have to do versus him going middle, sitting here, messing with the fat body.
So when I think about
hooks,
it, right?
Lobs.
So with me, if I'm playing it, I'm going to tell you don't double, right? We're going to stay home. Every possession, we're going to fucking stay home because I know how I'm going to play defense on him, right? I'm not going to foul him. I'm going to make every possession tough, and if he score that bitch, good. That's just the way I'm going to play because I know I'm going to work my ass off each possession and making him do the things that I want him to do.
He's a very methodical player, and he doesn't get sped up. It doesn't matter what you're gonna do, what defense you're throwing at him, like, he continues to play at his pace. And with a player that's that good, because he is a good player, like, to your point, you gotta make it as tough as you possibly can and try to make him a little uncomfortable in doing things that he doesn't want to do. But when he has the ball in his hands, he just makes so many things happen for his team.
So that's what the crew at Gil's Arena had to say about guarding the Joker. And I have to agree with Kenyon Martin and Cheryl Swoops. You know, you want to make things uncomfortable for the Joker on the defensive end. You want to apply pressure, but then you also want to remain disciplined because you don't want to get in foul trouble by going for shot fakes. And I definitely agree with Kenyon Martin in not doubling. You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure you getting back and guarding him one-on-one. If he just scoring on you, just making sure that you made it hard for him to score because he's going to be exerting the energy each time he get a bucket. No easy buckets. I heard what Gil was saying as far as like trying to send a double team from the baseline, but in my opinion, that would be a disaster because that's going to allow his teammates to get easy lobs and backdoor cuts. So let's take a look at some of the defensive possessions for the LA Lakers. And the Lakers did come out this game with more effort, more urgency, and they was more disciplined on the defensive end. And I think that was led by LeBron James because he had came out here, took a charge early, and he had a monster block against Jamal Murray. Here, let's take a look at some of these defensive plays. So let's take a look at this defensive possession right here. So we look at how things are starting. The Lakers is actually an okay defensive position. Actually, LeBron James is actually in the spot he really supposed to be at because he's going to be there to protect the rim. So let's see what happens here. So as you can see right there, Austin Reeves, he overextends his help, which is going to lead to a backdoor cut from Jamal Murray. And we got Jamal Murray, and as you can see, he got all this space right here to work with to get a layup. But since LeBron James is right here in solid defensive position, he's going to be there to contest his shot. So let's see how this plays out. As you can see, LeBron James, he's there to contest his shot. And even though LeBron James is in his 21st year, the guy's still athletic. So let's take a look. Boom. It's a good block right there. That was good defensive position by LeBron James. So he was able to help out his teammate who had got beat on the play. So we take a look at this possession right here. Actually, the Lakers was actually in solid position. It was only one person out of position on this possession, and that is Anthony Davis, as we can see right here. Because Anthony Davis, look at the space between him and the Joker, and as you can see, the Joker is actually going to set a screen on Dan Woodle. So what you want right here is you want Anthony Davis to be right here on the hip of the Joker. That way, when Reggie Jackson comes off this screen, he comes this way. But since Anthony Davis is back here, you see the space, he's back here, he's going to give Reggie Jackson the opportunity to come downhill. And that's pretty much going to kind of force a double team because it's not going to allow Dan Woodle to have that proper recovery time. So let's take a look at how this play developed. So here we go. Boom. All right, you got the screen. And as you can see, Dan Woodle, he pretty much goes under the screen to meet Reggie Jackson here. But we still got Anthony Davis here at the free throw line while we got the Joker here. So let's take a look. All right, as you can see, since Reggie Jackson had drove downhill and we got Dan Woodle recovering, we still got Anthony Davis here at the free throw line. And as you can see, the Joker is here. So we look at the space. You know what I mean? Anthony Davis, he has the athletic ability to recover, but I don't think he really gave a lot of effort on this recovery. Let's take a look. You know, he was there, but at this point, the Joker is wide open. In them situations, Anthony Davis, you're going to have to do a hard, he going to have to do a hard closeout and force the Joker to put the ball on the ground. Boom. That was 3 points right there. And that's when, the Joker had a few 3-pointers in this half, and that's what led to them pretty much coming back because the Lakers did have that early lead. All right, so let's take a look at this defensive possession right here. As you can see, Anthony Davis, he's on, he's in help side defense, but we got the Joker here. He's going to set a screen on Taurean Prince. So he's going to set that screen, and let's watch how this play develops. All right, so pretty much Michael Porter Jr., he didn't utilize the screen, but let's continue to see what happened here. Boom. See, because Anthony Davis, he was out of position. Really, this is a double screen. This is a double screen right here on Anthony Davis. Because now, look, you got the Joker right up here open because Taurean Prince and Michael Porter Jr. is setting the screen on Anthony Davis. Boom. He got a 3. And like I said, Anthony Davis had gave up some of these threes in the first half, and that's what led to the run by the Denver Nuggets. So let's take a look at this possession right here. So as you can see, we got Taurean Prince. He appears to be out of position already. It must have been a late communication on a switch between him and his teammate. But let's see how this play unfolds. All right. So as you can see, you got Jamal Murray. He passes the ball to Aaron Gordon. So he passes Aaron Gordon right here with the ball. So it appears, as you can see, he's moving in his direction. And this is why you got to be disciplined on defense and not try to jump the play before it happens. Because take a look at what happens here. So as we can see, Jackson Hayes, right here, Jackson Hayes, he's anticipating Jamal Murray getting the ball back, but Aaron Gordon got the ball right here. He got all this real estate, and I know that LeBron James last time was able to get a block on Jamal Murray, but he ain't going to be able to do that against Aaron Gordon. Let's take a look. Boom. It was just a defensive breakdown right there. So those were some of the defensive possessions by the LA Lakers. And in my opinion, the LA Lakers actually had played solid defense this game. They gave more effort. They was more disciplined, you know what I mean? And they played with more of a sense of urgency in game 2 than they did game 1. But let's take a look at the box scores right here. So as you can see, LeBron James, he had 26 points, 12 assists, and 8 rebounds. And he actually shot pretty good from the field. I mean, he shot 47% from the field, and he was 3 for 6 from the three-point line. And he only had 7 free throws. So that was, you know, for him to have 26 points, I think that was a solid play for LeBron James. But then Anthony Davis, if you just looking at this box score, you be like, oh man, Anthony Davis had a monster game. You know, he had 32 points, 11 rebounds. You know, you'd be like, oh man, Anthony Davis had a monster game. But Anthony Davis came out hot during the game. And as the game went on, things sizzled out, along with D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell had 23 points and 6 assists. Look, he was 8 for 16 from the field, and he was 7 for 11 from the three-point line. So you looking at that like, oh yeah, he had a very good game. But again, he started off hot, and he gonna sizzle out. Now I'm gonna show you guys this. So here we go. And this is why I think that the eye test really should be the main way of like seeing how a player is really doing versus then just reading stats. The stats is only supposed to be complementary to the actual eye test. But that's just my opinion. But let's take a look at it right here. So if you look at it, that's all periods. So let's look at the first quarter. So in the first quarter, LeBron James had 5 points. Anthony Davis had 10 points. Then D'Angelo Russell, he had 9 points. All right, some good quarters. You look at the second quarter, you got LeBron James with 5 points. You got Anthony Davis with 14 points. Then you got D'Angelo Russell with 9 points. All right, now let's take a look at the second half. So in the third quarter, LeBron James had 4 points. Anthony Davis had 8 points. And D'Angelo Russell had 3 points. It looks like the numbers are declining. All right, so in the fourth quarter, LeBron James, he actually had a very good fourth quarter. And in my opinion, I think that's because he wasn't exerting so much energy as far as having a lot of playing time in the first half like he did game 1. So he had 12 points. But then we come down to the other guys who's supposed to be contributing. And Anthony Davis had 0 points in the fourth quarter. He had 0 points. I know he finished the game with 32 points, and people are like, oh yeah, he had a great game. But when it mattered, he couldn't score. Actually, he didn't want to score. It appears to be he only took 1 shot. And then let's take a look at D'Angelo Russell. He was 1 for 2. What did he have in the fourth quarter? He had 2 points. Now let's take a look at the second half. We're going to take a look at the second half for the Denver Nuggets. You got, in the second half, the Joker had 15 points, and you had Jamal Murray with 16. You know, so that was the second half for them. In the second half for LeBron James, he had 16 points himself. So really, I mean, I think the Lakers, they just kind of runs out of gas. It appears like when they playing, they just run out of gas. Austin Reeves ain't really showed up yet. He finished this game with 9 points. But I want to know from you guys, do you guys think that the Lakers have a chance of coming back and making a series out of this? Or do you guys think that this is it? In my opinion, I think this is it. I think the way that they lost, you know what I'm saying? I know that they going back to LA, but losing to a buzzer beater, I think that pretty much drained all the energy out of the Lakers, especially since they had played so hard. But I want to know from y'all. Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, let's roll.